Okay, so remember that they're changing my voice and they're fuming me. So the government is already aware of my plan. Okay, when I leave, I'm going to have these bumper stickers somewhere showing. Okay, this is one of them. And it says one must be righteous, wise, sharp, just, sensitive, mature, and there's commas, and it finishes the statement on the right, which might confuse people a little bit, but the format that I was given, the restrictions I was given at the website to buy this bumper sticker, okay, made it so that I had to kind of do it this way, and I was trying to work the angle. Sometimes it takes a lot of thought, but so it goes on to say after it says, one must be righteous, wise, sharp, just, sensitive, mature, and in the divine African Falcon top martial artist order to have true love. So that's what it takes to have true love. Okay. The government and its massive network is trying to confuse you about the fact that I'm Christ. Now, this is the most romantic thing ever done in history. I'm the top martial artist ever, the bridegroom. I'm putting that out there. I'm going to try to, approach attractive females and try to record it, covertly record it. Maybe one time I'm going to try to use the camera so you can see the dilemma, right? Or you can at least hear it. There's cultural barriers, okay? And I'm going to try to choose someone who doesn't look that poor. So if they actually have the sense to not reject Christ and to hear me out, that, I potentially can, stay with them or what have you. And you're going to see females fail one way or another. Ask yourself, how could I predict this? How do I know? Do I know everybody? I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know where I'm going to do it at. I'm going to travel around here soon at this rate. Okay, and this is part 2 from the other video, actually, in fact, where I said I have to make a call today. There's a good chance I'm just going to go ahead and get some horse food and go home, even though I washed my car and messed up my wrist to do so. They do something funny with the fabric and the fumes and the gook on the car from the fumes and the dust mixing together. It causes me to have, from what I gather, it's remote controlled, and it causes me to have various aches in my body, and over time, things like that have changed the shape of my body. It caused my neck to slightly protrude and do things like that try to make it so I look weird, like some kind of, racist, weird English person or some kind of racist Jew. A lot of times they look weird. Quite often there's some more racist guy who's allowed to look less weird in a suit or something in a corporation going, ha, we fooled him or something, right? And stupid. I mean, at this point, if you see a rich person, you shouldn't want to date them, okay? Unless it's a guy and you're a guy and it's a female who's going to submit to you because you're doing the right thing. If they're going to submit to you because you're doing the wrong thing or you tricked them, you shouldn't want to date them because that's a trick-ass bitch. I'm sure anyone with sense can agree on it. Whether they live that or not, they can agree that logic is sound. Okay. So I'm going to make that decision. If I end up going back, okay, right now it's like, for me to continue after October 1st, to continue giving people chances or whatever, okay, or I think that was I'll make another video with the exact specifics, right? Because they're also confused me about that as a way to try to confound my judgments. One way or another, the essence of the judgment is there's consequences for playing games with the judgments. Okay, so if you cause the words to slip or something, or if I say, okay, I didn't consider that and change my mind over a minor judgment, that means nothing. That's an important judgment because it's the truth. That's the truth of the matter. The way to handle this situation where they're trying to confound the judgment, say, oh, he slipped on his words, or, oh, that's not what you said before, is the truth of the matter. What is doing justice? Is to continue giving out judgments in a way that is consistent with morality. And if there's a slip here and there, so what? And it's going to cost the people on duty at the time, and right now, it's going to cost the people giving orders and their offspring souls to the fucking extreme. If you think that isn't a just way to judge things, put in the comments. I'll give you 2 days, or forever hold your peace. That's where it stands, and I'll be the government on behalf of the people they rule over, agreeing with that judgment. Okay, so that's solved there. Notice at the end of the bumper sticker, going back to the bumper sticker, says the government and its massive network. Okay, the government and its massive network is trying to confuse you about the fact that I'm Christ. So I was kind of confused about the grammar there. I said the government and its massive network are trying to confuse you. I'll say, well, in a sense, they're merged together. So I'm going to use the word is. Okay, and again, my message isn't about grammar. I don't give a shit if you speak the worst grammar ever. If you're more moral than someone who speaks the best grammar ever, you're qualified to lead, okay? And that person is not. It's that simple. And after I'm dead, my flesh is gone. No one's qualified to lead, and no one will ever be qualified to magically lead over me. That's fucking retarded. They cannot do that. That's evil. If they try, shame on them and their families. Shame on the European governing class as it stands, and the Jewish international governing class as it stands. Shame on the white governing class and token minorities as it stands for trying to rule. Who the fuck you trying to rule over? God's son when he's representing God, you stupid fuck? You group of idiots? Remember that they're changing my voice. One thing I forgot to mention is my mom had offered me to give me some money that was supposed to be for next week's groceries or whatever, right? And every week my money kind of gets drained a little bit more, and I have I'm past the line I set for myself, but it's gonna kind of take me a little bit higher, and maybe I should give them those last 2 days, right? But they always seem to come up with something else, right? Someone gives them some money or something else occurs, and the government's like, woohoo, woohoo, I thought you said this, I thought you said that. So I want you all to know that, the white Jew and LGBT governing class is not looking out for you, okay? Playing that mockery game is not going to help them. It's going to cost them dearly, okay? Never forget that, okay? The righteous detest the dishonest. It's very dishonest and wicked of them. So it says in Proverbs, it's like Proverbs 27 or Proverbs 29, somewhere in that, toward the end of the chapter, it says the righteous detest the dishonest. So if I go back, okay, it's for my parents, and I don't want to go back, and then part of me does, right? But I got to look at it in terms of facts. The fact of the situation, yeah, it makes sense to go back on the one hand. But on the other hand, I done said it in a way, I said, look, you guys, now I'm leaving here, and it's safe to say they want me there longer, or they're at least playing like they do, and I said, I'm going to go to the hotel today, and I hurt my back moving like 5 loads. So no, it was like 9 loads of things, 10 loads of things to the car. And this isn't the first time this has happened. And I'm the type of person that I'm going to do what I say. So I have to weigh that I'm going to do what I say, and that's what I said. And checking in that hotel is going to cost me bread, like $200, right? And that's going to say, okay, and I'm still in the area, so I can go back home tomorrow, or I can, get another hotel room. Maybe the money comes on Wednesday, maybe it doesn't. Okay, so I got to look at it in terms of a lot of things. At some point we get finances, which is nowhere near. Like people who put money first, they're bitches. People who put their survival first, that's a nerd move. That's a craftsman move. That's a frat move. That's a Mason move. It's not a man move, you know what I mean? And I'm not comfortable doing that, and I'm never going to do that. So as I'm looking at this thing, right, and I'm coming at it in another state of mind, because I've been angry, I've been hungry and angry, I've been hungry and calm, I've been having my brain, greatly interfered with or less interfered with, in different states of mind considering this. I think I probably am going to go back and just, but if that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and say that for now, that's the most appealing option in terms of what's practical and logical, okay? Not by much, though. In terms of them being dealt a severe punishment. Here I am in public with my windows down. I don't know who's around. But I'm going to tell you, the white Jew and LGBT community disgrace themselves right now. Okay, the governing class disgraced themselves that it came to this in the first place. That these people, on behalf of all the people they rule in the world, which is not me, I'm not ruled by them, but first and foremost, on behalf of their races and the governing class, are playing this sick fucking game with you people and your children and your offspring and their lives. And there's no way that this ends but in a very drastic way that costs them dearly. So as I look at this situation, I'm going to have to now publicly say that in order for me to go home and to feel comfortable with that I'm going to have to say with God listening, I don't have to pray to God. God knows that they're hacking my brain to mock him when I'm doing a prayer. Maybe they'll have someone come and make funny noises. They do stuff like that, so I'm not going to pray to God. God knows my heart. He knows that the intention of the prayer is greater than the action of the prayer. So I'm going to call on God without praying from my heart to punish these people to the extreme for making it come to this. But rest assured, if the logic, I'm going to go ahead and say this, if the logic doesn't line up in the future, I'm out of here, and it's going to be on worse terms than before. It's going to cost you and your offspring more than before, your souls more than before. And, changing my speech patterns and my voice and editing my video like bitches is not a good look. So I promise to you with everything but an oath to God, because I'm not going to give oaths to God. I decided to not do that anymore. Okay, I promise with everything that you people are going to regret this for eternity. You're going to regret this for the rest of your lives on some level, and then you're going to go on to regret it for eternity. So that's part of the judgment I needed to hear myself say for me to then go back. And you're not controlling shit. If you controlled me, you would say, hey, I want you to do this, this, and this, right? And because of what you said, I would do that. Not play this sissy game. That's a bitch move. If you're not man enough to live like a man, you don't have any power. And I'm not one of the bitches that does what you say. So I can say with certainty, I can promise you again with that same promise, that you do not fucking control me. You don't tell me shit. Your so-called sexual power is fucking laughable compared to the Spirit of God. Your family spirits are laughable compared to the Spirit of God. I say this raising my voice in a parking lot. People across the street probably can hear me. You people don't tell me shit. And God curse you and your families for the game that you played today. Okay, so I cut it off short, but at the end I basically said that God is going to curse you and your family's souls for what you're doing. And that's more than fair to say. And they're filming me, so you can probably hear my voice, right now. But yeah. And there I go, losing my train of thought. So you see that it's consistent. They probably edited it, but it's consistent when it starts showing in my throat, right? And I can taste the poisons in the air in my mouth. It's outside my house, it's at the park, it's in my other car, it's in this car, it's in my parents' car. It's not just, it's some engine problems or this, that, or the other thing. No, it is them filming me deliberately. Quite often they drive by and it gets worse. It's deliberate.